ACC has become a great gift to the Mountain West, in my opinion. They just have been gifting them the whole year long. And to the credit of Boise and San Diego State, they're handling their business that a bubble team should be to deserve to make it into the dance. You have to look at it. Which teams are playing their way into the tournament and which way teams are playing their way out of the tournament. A lot of teams are not getting the wins that they need to play into the tournament. Arkansas, what a terrible loss today. They could have continued the path in their argument today, losing to South Carolina. That's inexcusable. That's a loss that they could not have. And they still had it. And yet there's so much in the SEC for them to make up the ground for it. Big Ten, to a lesser extent, has that as well. But again, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm hoping that the Mountain West gets 4 teams. I want to see a team like Drake make it to the NCAA tournament because they deserve to be in the NCAA tournament. They're a good enough team to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. And I just hope that, that conference always has crazy conference tournaments all the time, and some of the craziest moments that have ever happened in their conference. So I would hope that doesn't happen to them and they win it, they get locked in. But again, Mountain West deserves 4, in my opinion. I think the Big East has got 4, but Xavier and Villanova really have a lot more work to do. ACC's got 3, and there's mountains of work that everyone else has to do in that one.
We see some people that are watching us as well. Chris loves your phrase, Matt Zemek, on the double bubble rubble trouble. Yeah, do try saying that 5 times fast. Lisa watching says, I love bubble time. Yep, with all of these teams and all of these games.
When they talk about expanding the tournament, by the way, sorry to interrupt, but when they talk about expanding the tournament, like you have to stop because look at these teams that are just
exactly.
I'm sorry, I don't want to see Wake Forest in the NCAA tournament. I just
does Texas look like an NCAA tournament team? To your point, I mean that's what we're debating now down at the bottom. Does North Carolina? I know they've won a bunch of games against teams in the ACC that are bad. Why do we keep going over this? Matt knows I'm going to need some aspirin coming up. If we keep going over this, that we don't need 8 more teams. We don't. Nope. Go ahead, Matt. What else? What else you want to add real quick?
Yeah, well, as the West Coast bureau chief, I need to add one more team to the mix, and that is UC San Diego, the Titans. Not the San Diego Toreros, but the UC San Diego Tritons. Eric Olin, one of the breakout stars in the coaching world this season. UC San Diego is right in the same league as Drake. The team that Ari very rightly, appropriately said, that's a team that deserves to be in. Drake's barely lost any games all season. I believe it's 26-3 heading into a Sunday game against Missouri State, and UC San Diego's similarly been crushing it in the Big West. And I hope they win their conference tournament so that we don't have to worry about this going into Selection Sunday. But if UC San Diego and also Drake don't win their conference tournaments, they deserve to be in the tournament a million times more than Texas, than Arkansas, than Ohio State, than Nebraska. All these 13, 14 lost teams. And, we talk about, Oklahoma has more quad 1 wins than UC San Diego. Well, yeah, right, of course, because Oklahoma gets to play 20 quad 1 games, and it wins 4 of them. So more quad 1 wins. That is such an artificial thing when you get 15, 17, 20 more bites at the apple. Something has to be done, and I really hope we're not dealing with a world in which Drake and UC San Diego get left out while Oklahoma and Texas and Ohio State get in.